Hi and welcome to another video. In this video, I'm going to show you some awesome Valentine's gifts DIYs. I'm going to show you how to make chocolate bars. You can see here a peanut butter pretzel crunch. I'm going to do some cookies and cream and even some strawberry, and it makes super cool candy bars. I'm also going to show you how you can dip brownies. So you get the chocolate kick, but you also get a brownie inside. And then I actually do make a hybrid of a chocolate bar brownie. I also show you how to package them so they look like candy bars, which is really fun. And I have some awesome paper here. And then I do some with cellophane packaging and paper. And so I'm just going to show you a lot of different ways to make them and to package them. If you're excited to watch this video, give it a thumbs up. It really helps my channel. Let's get into it. The first one we're going to make is just the candy bars. And in these candy bars, we're going to add all sorts of different flavors. I made peanut butter crunch and freeze-dried strawberries and cookies and cream. So just starting off with some melted chocolate, you want to make sure that your chocolate is either tempered or that you are using compound chocolate. If you're not sure how to temper your chocolate, just search it on YouTube. You'll be able to find it. And then once I have my mold filled, I want to tap it out. You saw me tapping those air bubbles, and now I'm just adding in the flavors. You could do whatever you want here. You just want to push it down into the chocolate so it is pretty level with the top. It can stick out a little bit. I then added in some peanut butter chips, and then I also took some of these mini Reese's cups and cut them in half, and then just kind of stuck them up with the cut half up so you could see the peanut butter sticking out. I then went on to make a bar of cookies and cream. Now, we all know the classic cookies and cream candy bar, but I think this is just so fun, and you get a lot of cookies in this one. And yeah, I kind of when it overflowed and went into the other mold, but ignore that. And so I chopped up some mini Oreos, and I think you could use regular ones too, but the mini ones fit maybe a little bit better. And just pushing them down, you want to make sure all of them are stuck to the chocolate, and then pop them in the fridge to cool off. You want to make sure that it is completely cool. If they're not popping out easily, throw it back in the fridge for a little longer. I broke off that little part that overflowed, and that is my chocolate bar. Now I'm going to move on and make some chocolate bar brownies. This is something I hadn't seen anywhere, but I gave it a try. I used 3 mixes and tripled it. I then baked it and ended up freezing it. I don't think you need to freeze it overnight, but that's what I ended up doing just for time's sake. But I would freeze it for a half hour. And now I was using this chocolate mold. By the way, the mold is from Hobby Lobby. I'll link it below if I can find it. And then I took my bench scraper in and tried to cut pieces that would fit into my mold. Like I said, I had never seen this, so it was a little bit trial and error, but it was a fun experiment. So I cut pieces of brownie out, and then I was just pulling them out. Now, when I had pulled them out, I actually realized I'd cut them too big, so then I recut them down and slid them into my mold to make sure they would fit, and they did. Then I was ready to get back to the chocolate side of things. So I was just taking melted chocolate. Again, you either want to use compound chocolate, which means it has vegetable oil, or you want to temper it. And so I filled up my molds quite a ways and then tapped them out to get any air bubbles out and fill in all those little spaces. I then went and got my brownie chunks and put those on top. Now, you want to push those down so they're glued in there. Now, here's the problem. The brownie comes out of the mold, which I knew would happen. So it honestly gets a little bit sloppy. But if that doesn't bother you, this will be great. Otherwise, you may want to stay away. If you're looking for perfection, you need a different mold. So I just took the chocolate and kind of covered them up, and it was all over the place, which really was okay with me. I put more toppings for peanut butter crunch. I didn't show it to you because I figured once is enough. The other flavor I added here was a strawberry flavor, and these are just freeze-dried strawberries. There's no sugar or anything in them. They're nice and crunchy if you've never had them. And it's kind of like something different, and obviously red, which is awesome for Valentine's Day. You want to make sure you get this on while the chocolate is still wet or melted. The other thing with the brownies that didn't work quite as well, with the bar of chocolate, you can push it way down into the chocolate. Here, it just kind of sits on the surface. I then just went around the edges once it was hardened and broke off the extra pieces. Again, this is kind of a messy look, but I was okay with it. You can see that the other side is a cool candy bar, so it's kind of fun to think inside that candy bar is a brownie. That's fun for the person eating it. You can see she's a very thick candy bar. Some of those pretzels fell off, and I just went back and glued it on some more with some chocolate. Now, this is my third variation, so the mold was fine, but I was just thinking, let's try a different way. So I just cut some brownies up, and I popped them in the freezer just to get a good chill on them so they wouldn't, like, get their browniness into the chocolate. And I was just dipping them here and flipping them over, and that all went well. And as soon as I had done a few, I started topping them. So you can see here, I topped this one with some more freeze-dried strawberries, and then I actually came in with some red and pink sprinkles, which I thought was kind of fun to have with the strawberries. I then made another peanut butter crunch one just because, man, that is a good flavor. Sweet, salty, crunchy. So that's why I kept making it, because I thought people would like it. Then for my third one, I decided to just mix up what I had. So I put some Oreos and I put some Reese's on it. And you guys could do whatever you wanted here. Really, sky's the limit. You could put coconut, you could put nuts, you could put any kind of candy you could chop up and put on there. I then switched over to some white chocolate just for some variation. And once I had those all dipped, I added some topping. These white ones looked a little rough before I put stuff on them, but in the end, I think they looked good. Then I made a cookies and cream one. And yeah, this is not rocket science, just kind of adding what looks good. Here I put some more freeze-dried strawberries kind of on one half, and then I took some chocolate sprinkles and went over the top there. And I think it turned out kind of fun too. Now it is time to package these babies up. We want them to look awesome. So I took some cellophane bags, and here I put this bar. This is one of those brownie bars. I put it into the cellophane, and I want to tuck the cellophane underneath so it kind of looks like it's wrapped in cellophane without having to go to all that work, just using the bags. I got like 150 of these at Walmart for like $2 or something. So yeah, that's kind of the reason that I thought these were pretty nice. So I'm just taping underneath and kind of getting it to all wrap around, which it looks a little ugly on the back, but we're focusing on the front. And I think it gives kind of a nice custom look. And then I came with a pink ribbon and just tied a bow, and I was done with that one. I'm going to show you a lot of different variations, and you can just do whatever looks good to you. So I had these Reynolds wrappers, which are like for wrapping hot sandwiches, and they work really well for these candy bars because they're kind of a thinner foil than you would get normally on a roll, so they worked really well. And I'm sure there is a right way to do this. I didn't know the right way, so I kind of just did this like a burrito. I folded it in and then folded up and then kind of did a half fold because it was too long, and then tucked it around, and I think it worked okay. Just I smoothed it out, and because it is such a thin foil, it kind of fits around the chocolate really nice, and it looks better than it did before I smoothed it. So yeah, I would recommend smoothing it out, kind of wrapping it around the bar. I'm now cutting some Valentine's Day paper to fit around this candy bar, which is so fun. I got this paper at Hobby Lobby, and it's just in the part where you buy the single sheets of paper. And here I'm just taping this. I kind of go along the edges and score it so it has more of a crisp look to it, and I think that helped. Through some trial and error, I realized that would help, and I taped it down, and I was done. So you can see the big red heart one is the brownie one, and the white one was the regular one, so the brownie one is huge. Here's another variation. So I wrapped this cookies and cream with cellophane, and then I just wrapped a thin strip of paper around it, and I came behind with a ribbon. So again, just another way to decorate these. I'm sure you guys could think of millions of variations, but I just wanted to share a few. Now onto my little brownies. I thought these were so fun. This would be such a fun gift to get. Can you imagine if you got like just a little brownie dipped in chocolate? Any of these would be great. So I just took these, and for the first one, I just put it into the bag and twisted it and wrapped a ribbon around it. So very, very simple, but if you wanted to crank out a bunch of these for gifts, that would be a really neat way to do it and simple. Another way you could wrap these is I stuck it into the cellophane bag, and I kind of had it floating in the middle there. I then collected all the extra cellophane to the back and then just taped it together, kind of like I did the big bar. There's just a lot more loose cellophane here. And then once I had it taped, when you look at the front, it just looks nice and custom. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this, hit subscribe. In the next week, I'm going to be sharing 2 awesome videos. I'm going to show you how to make a chocolate heart smash box so you can put something hidden or some special gift inside. And I'm also going to show you how I package and ship my food and send it all over really easily. So if your Valentine does not live close to you, you can get it there. Have a great week.